So over the weekend, I started to edit my new video for my bunk window installation in the van, which are the small little windows you see right here that are going to go in the back of the van, right around that location, and they're going to be above the bed. And I got one awning window and I got one slider window. And then I talk about how I need to get this paper template created and I can't find anyone to print it, but then eventually I got a copy of it right there. And then I go home and I start working on the template and start running into problems. And I start discussing the problems that I'm having, how the paper template doesn't seem to be to scale for one of the windows, but it seems to be fine for one of the other windows. And I'm using the correct windows that are told to be used in the description of the paper template. And then right here I lay out the spare paper template that I had printed, and I'm talking about the scale bar and how they're correct. And then I have my packing slips right here, and I'm talking about how maybe I have the wrong window because the numbers don't exactly match up, and it turns out I do have the wrong window, so I had to make some adjustments and figure out how to make this work so I could get the windows in this weekend without wasting too much time. And then I talk about more stuff, and I'm talking about up here, I'm talking about how this isn't fitting in the place where it belongs according to the paper template that I got from ABC Rig. And then here I'm eating some McDonald's breakfast sandwiches, and then I'm talking about a tool that I bought to cut the metal of the window, and then I'm eating some more, and then I'm back in my van because I'm going to chug some orange juice, see if I can find the orange juice chugging. There we go, orange juice chugging. And then I'm back in here and I'm talking about the primer I need to apply to the metal stuff that I'm cutting out of the van, and yada yada yada. Well, basically, guys, I decided I don't really want to create a video about this whole process of installing the bunk windows in my van. There's plenty of videos out there already on YouTube that you can find, and I thought it'd be a really boring video to have you guys sit through and watch. And I'm all over the place because I'm trying to figure things out and things aren't working and I'm frustrated. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you guys the final outcome of the window install. And I have one paper template left that I didn't cut to shreds that I can kind of show you guys what I had printed, why it worked and why it didn't work for the windows that I have, and what the problems were. That way, if you guys want to use the same paper template from ABC Rig, you can basically achieve the same results that I have by using the same windows that I ended up buying, because I'm not even sure if you can buy the other window from CRL or CR Lawrence any longer that is on the paper template. So yeah, so with all that being said, we'll get into that later in this video, and that's really all I really have right now. In the beginning of this video, I showed you guys how my bed lift goes up and how I put the bench up. So if you're watching this and you're interested in the purchase of this van once it's ready for sale, that gave you a rough idea of how the bed went up from down there. It went up from there, from this switch right here, and yada yada yada. We can all go over that later. But right now, I got stuff to do, so we'll see you when I see you in a little bit. My insulation shipment has arrived. It's kind of cold today. It's supposed to be warm all week, but it's kind of overcasty and cold. Anyways, there's my insulation box. That's a big box of insulation. Let's get the box in the garage before someone walks away with it. It's lightweight. It's just a big box. A real big box. I'm just going to slice it open. And see what we got inside. So this is from Camper Van headquarters, and there it is. That's what I was looking for. So it comes with this diagram showing where all the pieces go. So we have the passenger side wall. This must be the sliding door with 3 pieces. Then behind the sliding door, and we have the driver's side wall, and then we have the passenger rear door sections and the ceiling. And oh, cool. That's cool. I use this stuff on my ProMaster build. This is the 3M thin slit, but that stuff only had the backing on one side. This has it on both sides, so that's actually really nice. This piece has a marking C1 right there. It's probably for the ceiling. Yep, so this is going to go in the ceiling, which is pretty awesome. So everything's labeled. That's awesome. Really, really cool. Here is another piece. It's all double backed, which I wasn't expecting. That is sweet. DM1. So you got a DM1, which is going to be for driver's side wall. So this goes in a certain spot, just like all the rest of it. Awesome. I'm stoked. This is really going to quiet down the van. So here's the deal with this particular box of insulation. This includes every area of the van as if the van has no windows in it. My van has a window on the sliding door, and it has 2 rear windows, and it has the 2 new windows I just put in. So that means I'm going to have some extra pieces that are large that I can use in other areas of the van. Most notably, I'm going to try to shove some pieces above the headliner, above the front seats. Hopefully I can get one big piece in there that I'm not using, and then additionally I'm going to have some smaller extra pieces from where the new windows just went in and where I am planning to put a rooftop air conditioner and fan. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out, and then we're gonna get this stuff glued in to the van hopefully this weekend. But there's just a few things I got to do left for work today on the computer, and then I'll come out here and I'll show you guys what the van windows look like and kind of go over some of those issues I ran into. So yeah. Brr. Oh, this weather kind of sucks. Looks like it's gonna rain or something. It's cold and shitty, but it's supposed to warm up tomorrow and be sunny the rest of the week, so I'll try not to complain. But what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna toss this box of insulation in this van to get it out of my way and make some room in the garage for stuff. And while I'm at it, real quick, I'm just really curious to see how this fits in here. This is supposed to go here. It's definitely, I don't know where it's supposed to go exactly. This one is supposed to go right above this first section up here. Let's see. Just curious if it's going to fit. Looks like that one's good. Whoop. The thing is, they don't give you extra pieces to shove in these open areas, so maybe I'll shove Havelock wool in here. Maybe I'll order some of that, or I'll get get some rock wool from Home Depot. I think I'll get rock wool from Home Depot to shove in this area right here, because this is just a big open area you got to put stuff in. So they basically give you stuff to cover the upper, the middle, and the lower, but not all these fine cavities. I really wish they'd include that as part of the package, because that would be nice to be able to shove stuff in there. So anyways, I just wanted to see how that kind of sits in here, but ultimately I'm going to pick up some rock wool from one of the big box stores to fill in all these other cavities. That's the plan. All right, so let's have a little look at these windows. Here's the passenger side slider. Looks really good in there. It's nice and tight on the van. I don't think it's going to leak, but I haven't water tested it yet with any high pressured water. I'll be doing that soon enough, but I don't think it's going to leak, so I'm not too worried about it. And here is the driver's side awning window. Turned out really good too. I like the way this one looks compared to the slider. This looks very, very OEM compared to the slider, but they both look good. So let's take a look at the inside of the windows. There's the slider on the passenger side. This is where Luca will sit on my bed and yell at me when I'm out there. And here is the awning. Driver's side awning window. Just twist this little knob and it opens up like that to get some airflow and keep the rain out. So I ended up going with the slider for the passenger side on purpose because eventually I'll have an awning on the roof rack which will keep this dry if necessary. I can keep this window open and the awning won't let any rain in, but if I do need some airflow and I don't have the awning deployed, I can open up this awning window and keep the rain out while letting some airflow through. But I wanted a slider because mostly for Luca, so that he can sit on the bed and he can actually look out this window. He can actually stick his head out this window. If I want to take the screen off, you can just pop these little things over to the side and you can actually pull this screen off just like that, and Luca can stick his head out the window right there and look down upon us in the off season when it's not buggy outside, of course. And you can just pop that window back on and put these little tabs over there, and you got your screen back on there. And I could pass stuff through there if I want to. I could throw stuff at people, water balloons or whatever. This one, the screen comes off on this side too. I just don't see the reason for it. You know, what's the reason for pulling this off? It's all Velcroed on there, but it does have these little tabs if you want to pull the screen off. But I don't see the reason for ever taking it off unless you're cleaning it. And that tightens up real nice. So now let's talk about the problems that I had with these windows. And let's go in the garage and take a look at the paper template. I went and got this thing printed. You can download this for free off of ABC Rig's website. Actually, you got to add it to your cart, and then they'll send you a copy in your email after you check out for free. But you can also order this from them for $89. I was able to get this printed for $4, and I got 2 copies. So this is the extra copy I have. My major concern with this was making sure I got it printed to scale. As you can see, they have a scale bar here that measures 24 inches. So when you have this printed, this should be 24 inches. There's another scale bar here. So I got it printed. I measured it at the print shop, and it was very, very close to 24 inches. If I recall correctly, this one is 24 inches exactly, and this one is like a 16th inch shy of 24 inches. So it didn't really concern me. And I brought this back here, and that's when I realized, oh, actually, there's 2 different templates on the same sheet. One for CRL 1033 slider, and one for CRL AW 1033 for transit AW awning window. Okay, and if you look at them closely, you can see this line here for the window cutout does not match up with that line. It's shorter. Same with the height. This one here is taller than the slider window. So I didn't realize that until I got back, and that's fine. But I ordered the windows from CLR, and I got back here and I cut this first one here and for the slider window, and I cut my wood templates, which are right over here. Nope, that's not them. They're right here. So this is what I cut out to use. I used the paper template to make these wood templates, so I had a sturdier template to use in the van to trace from, and also as a measure of testing. So this measures up perfectly with the outline of the template. And if you look carefully here on the inside, you will see that my actual wood cutout is it's a bigger cutout than the black lines on the paper here. That's because this window that I got from CRL is actually bigger than the template that AVC rig provides. So I think that CRL may have changed their window sizes, or they started selling a window that's made by a different manufacturer and just putting their name on it. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but all I do know is that the slider template size does not fit the slider window that I got from CRL. But the transit, or the awning window does, and I created a separate template for the awning window, which fits on here the same way, and it's perfect. It fits the window perfectly. So if you're going to use this template from AVC rig and you end up getting the slider window from CRL, just know that this one will not fit. And in order to make it fit, it's pretty simple. So if you have any questions about these templates, in case I didn't explain that well enough to you, then go ahead and leave me a comment below and I'll see if I can get back to you. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I am going to start working on insulating the van, and that'll be the next video I have for you guys here, hopefully in a couple days. So see you on the next video.